Beautiful people, good morning from Mexico. Good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to your family, your space, your platform. We are having our weekly class number 571, and it is an honor for me. Everything that has happened during this year since sharEvery is wonderful, and the plans for 25 are super exciting for me, and I think for all the people here. And thank you very much for everything. And now we have our prime mover, who will introduce our speaker today. And she is a beautiful woman, a beautiful wife, and a beautiful person, Coach Sangeeta Jakadish.
Now, it's my privilege. Dr. Anjum Qureshi holds the position of Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering Research and Technology, Chandrapur. As an international trainer and motivational speaker, she has participated in over 400 events, sharing her knowledge and insights with audience worldwide. She influences beyond the realm of education and training. Her articles have been featured in globally circulated newspapers, demonstrating her ability to communicate effectively on diverse topics. Additionally, she has contributed to international documentary films produced by UNICEF, showcasing a commitment to humanitarian causes. In recognition of her significant contribution, Dr. Qureshi has received numerous awards. These accolades highlight her dedication to education, training, and humanitarian activities, underscoring her status as a respected figure in her field. All the best to the speaker. Over to you, ma'am.
Greetings, Reverend. I'm here with my topic, and this is actually one of my research areas which I have been working on since last 60 years. Of course, the technology is changing. There are many changes. The research areas that we are having, and it is changing. But still, I would like to give just a brief introduction of it, like Internet of Things. So, Internet of Things, which we mostly call as IoT. And I must tell you that as you see this presentation, many of you will realize that you are actually using IoT, but we don't know we have been using it. IoT here, it refers to an interconnected network of devices that communicate and exchange data. Well, it may seem to be a difficult sentence sometimes, but yes, it is. IoT is a technology which can connect any device from any part of the world. That is we call like anything means any device, anyone means anybody. Yes, anybody means it can connect plants, it can connect animals, it can connect human beings. You can be tracking anything on this world. Then any service or any business, any path, any network and you can be connecting it from any place and at any time. So this is what special about IoT, where the devices around you, not just devices, but the human beings, plants, animals, everything will get connected. But let's see how. If you see at the statistics, how IoT devices are being used, just suppose the number of IoT devices have been increasing. This graph that you see, it shows that in comparison how in 2023, IoT devices were used around the globe and how much they estimate to have it around 2030. For all the countries or all the regions that you see, whether it is India and South Asia, Middle East and North Africa, then going to North America, Europe and China. China is the leading country which is using the IoT devices, then next in the Europe and the next in North America. But if you see everywhere, the number of IoT devices that are being used is increasing. So if we talk about India, yes, less than 2.5 billion of devices are being used, but keep on growing. This is the global proportion of how IoT devices versus non-IoT devices are being used. If you see the percentage devices from 2010 to 2025, nearly 75% the devices that we use are actually equipped with IoT, and only the 25% are not connected to IoT. That's what I said just at the beginning, that we have been using IoT, but we most of us don't know where actually we are using it. These are the few concepts of IoT. Yes, it will require some kind of hardware. It actually consists of sensors and actuators. Sensors, it is, we can see that is the heart of IoT, where it will connect different kinds of signals. Like we have pressure sensors to measure the pressure, temperature sensor, humidity sensors. Different types of sensors are there which will collect or which will gather the data. Then networking and cloud integration. Now there is network. You must have heard of computer network, but here the computer networks that we have is specifically being used for the internet that cannot be directly used over here, but there are some changes into it that is called as network design. We cannot use these computer networks directly for IoT due to the amount of devices, the amount of data that is flowing through the network, and also the number of connected devices. And the data that is being exchanged is so large that we cannot use or we cannot analyze using a simple storage system like I want to store IoT data only on a mobile or a computer or laptop is not possible. Here we always require cloud integration. So the cloud is somewhere that it will keep our data, it will help in processing and analyzing the data. Then the embedded programming. So IoT devices, what we call it as mostly, we also call it as IoT nodes, in which we have the sensors, some kind of processor, like mostly that we use nowadays, like the Raspberry Pi, or the students when they go for project, they most of the times use Arduino into it. So it will be having some kind of processors, sensors. It will be some more of electronic devices like some resistors, capacitors, some battery. They are mostly battery powered devices. So, and these are all mounted on a printed circuit board that is called as PCB, and then we start with work we want to do. Then data analytics and protection, that is very necessary over here because a lot of data is being transferred. So developers, when they do, they actually use it for data analyzing the data. They will analyze because there is large amount of data that is being going on. They will analyze it, and they will also, and when we talk about data that is being transferred through the internet, and as I said, like it is from any time, from any place, and anyone can access it. So there we have the security and the privacy controls. So this is a key concept where the people are working on it to have security of the IoT data. And nowadays, if you see, IoT is everywhere. It is integrated with the artificial intelligence, and that the one of the subsets of AI that is commonly being used is machine learning. So to make our IoT devices more intelligent, however, when we use IoT, these devices or these applications are called as intelligent or smart applications. But still, if you want to make it more intelligent or more smart, you always integrate with some kind of artificial intelligence or most of the times with machine learning. Now let's see how IoT works. So the data that we are collecting or that we are gathering, it has to be sent to the cloud. The first one is data ingestion, that is the sensors that we are using. Now, the sensor, for example, I want to record the temperature of my, so I must be using a temperature sensor. If I am using it for watering plants, there I will need for the sensors for testing the moisture level of the plant. There are different types of sensors. So according to our application or according to our requirements, we can deploy different types of sensors, and then these sensors are used to collect the data. Then the next is data transmission. Now the data that is being collected by the sensors, it is transmitted to the cloud through the gateway. And this gateway will use cellular as well as the satellite communication to use the data. Now the cellular data that I mean to say is, there you can be using Bluetooth or you can be using even the Wi-Fi. But if you want to send it for larger distances, like for Bluetooth, we know the range is very low. If I want to use it just for my house or something, Their Bluetooth is okay. If the distance increases a little bit, then Wi-Fi is okay. But beyond that, of course, we'll be requiring either cellular connection or satellite connections to move the data. Then once the data that goes to the cloud, there the IoT platform will start on processing it. Processing, sometimes we can say, like if I am recording a temperature, that as I gave an example. So if I have to check whether this temperature is within the limit or not. For example, if I am trying to check the temperature, body temperature of a person. So once the temperature goes very low or very high, you will be getting a notification. So this all kind of processing, it goes on into the cloud where it will decide, okay, this is safe or this is not safe or anything related to that, and how the data has to be transferred. From there, if the data is to be transferred, like if it finds that a person's temperature has exceeded beyond a limit, an immediate notification has to be sent. So an alert or notification will be sent to the concerned person. So all this data that is gathered, how it is processed, how it is transmitted, this is all being done to the cloud. Then the next on the data visualization, that is that you will be getting a notification or an alert in case of any emergency. So the process data or the information is made available to the end user by providing the alerts and the notification. So it can be done through an alert or notification on your mobile, or you can be also getting notification through your email. And the user will have an application, like we have an app on our mobile phone, that I may be having an app, like we have some online shopping app. Similarly, any application that you are using either for your home or for your scrolling anywhere, you will actually install it onto your mobile phone. So through mobile phone, you'll be controlling a lot of things. So and you will be able to manage. Then the data analysis and prediction. So once the data is collected, to utilize the data that is collected, data analytics. It will make use of the historical data, whatever the data it has collected, and it will provide actionable insight. For example, like you must have seen in malls, they just tell you to go through a particular place. Actually, they have sensors. They just know how many persons are entering into a mall on that particular day. So they make that prediction. Like for example, they have a prediction that during festival time, the number of people coming to the mall will be more. So they will all the collected data and they will use their protection, because if the number of people coming to a mall to buy clothes is more, so they will have such kind of availability inside the mall or any other shop that we call. So now let's talk about some of the applications. So the first one, that is a smart or automated home. So this was the first project that I worked when I started working on IoT. And IoT actually started with this smart home automation. If you see the students in the initial stage, they find it to be very easy. They start working on this. So here, smart home means just by using your mobile or your tab, you will be able to control your home. There will be sensors at your home. Imagine that you go to your office and then you remember, okay, did I switch off my light? You can just use your phone. You can switch off the light. You can switch on or off any of the appliances at your home. If you want to have even the security cameras, the CCTV cameras that we have at our home, you can be controlling it. You can be just saying, okay, somewhere, even someone is there and on your front door and you're at home, you will be getting a notification that someone is there at your home, and you can easily see it through your application that is installed on your. Similarly, if you are at your office, you want to go back to home, but it is very hot, like at our place, it is too hot. So if I'm going back to my home, I want my room to get cool. Just switch on your AC, then your way to your home, and your room will be cool till you reach there. So this is how a smart home automation will work, where you can be handling all the appliances at your home. All appliances will be connected to it, and you can on and off and control your devices to it. Second feature of IoT is the smart health. You must have heard about smart watches that the people wear. Nowadays, the people don't like the normal number of watches that we have been wearing. They prefer having smart watches or the digital watches where it will give you notification like, okay, it's time to drink water. It will tell today you have walked. You can just check your body temperature. You can check your oxygen level with the help of your watch. Now coming to smart city, yes, we have been using this term because nowadays when we talk about it, we know that there is a lot of urbanization that is going on. People are moving towards cities, and we are talking about converting those cities into smart cities. What is smart city? So here IoT has a main role to play. In fact, in all the applications of smart cities, AI is being integrated. But can you just imagine, like you're walking on the road and your car is connected, and in fact, you get this, like you're using Google Maps. So when we use that Google Map, and you want to, you put the location. So you're driving your car, and it says, okay, after 300 meters, turn left, or after 200 meters, turn right, go straight. You get all the kind of, your mobile keeps on talking to you that time. So this is an example where you are connected. In the Google Maps, you just put like if you I want to find the nearest petrol pump. You put that and you get the location, you get the direction. So this is an example of how cities will be converted into smart cities. Not only that, even the buildings that will be having, like for example, the food generally in our homes, if we see, if we switch on the light, I come out of the room, but every time I don't remember that I have to switch off the light. In that case, even in the street lights that we see, the street lights that will start at, for example, nowadays starts at 6 p.m. It gets on at 6 p.m. And tomorrow at 6 a.m. the street lights will be on continuously for 12 hours. But what if, nobody walks on that street? What is the use of this light? So here, the IoT-based systems, it will help in having smart lighting system where once some vehicle or where it will have motion sensors. It detects some kind of motion into that area. It sees that okay, a person is coming or a vehicle is coming. Immediately, all the lights will get on. And once the person leaves that area, the lights will be off. So this will help in saving a lot of energy, lot of electricity at home, in the buildings, cooling systems, heating systems, depending on area. Like where we always require cooling systems here. Even places where we have so much of cold or very freezing temperature, there it will require heating system. So centralized heating systems, centralized ventilation, those are all being possible in buildings, and all these combined together will be actually converted into smart cities. Then smart grids. Smart grids, so here, controlling our electricity usage. Nowadays, in some parts of India too, we are talking about smart meters. And yes, some of them are opposing it, but it is very good because everywhere, how much energy should be used at my home? How much electrical energy or power supply should be used at my home? It needs some limitation. So here, smart grid, of course, great ones where the power is generated, electricity is being generated. So here, not only the non-renewable sources of energy, because nowadays we are mostly using coal. So along with that, depending upon the area that we have, like in our place where we have sunlight, abundant sunlight is there. So there I can be using solar plants or the photovoltaic plant. The places where the lot of wind is blowing, there they're using winds to generate energy, and the different kind of all the kind of renewable energies can be used. They will be integrated with the smart grid, and there all the electric energy will be coming at a place, and from there it will be distributed. And even there will be smart meters where continuous monitoring of how much energy is being used will be done. Then smart transportation and connected cars, I already talked about. Like, okay, our car will be connected, and I told like in the modern days cars, the high-end cars that will buy, it already has those features where automatically you know where you are going, how you are going, and wherever, like you just put a location and you get it. This supply chain, that is a very important thing. So here the supply chain, it is being used by the industries, we can say. Like for example, earlier I was giving an example, like how many people are coming to a mall. They are trying to predict it according to the footfall that is going on. So similarly, the industries need to know how much the products it has to manufacture. If it is festival time, if it is an industry that manufactures clothes, so obviously it has to manufacture more clothes because the people will be buying more clothes during the festival time. If it is summer, if summers are approaching, then the industries will have to keep a track that people will be buying more cold drinks or more number of ACs and fans. So they will have to increase this production. So IoT helps in all these kind of analysis where they can analyze the data and they can increase or decrease the production and also help in producing a particular commodity, but it will also help in reaching out to the consumers on time. So this is how IoT will be helping in supply chain. And then of course farming. In agriculture sector, it is going to help a lot. Like for example, how much pesticide? Well, I don't support using pesticide, but still, the farmers are sometimes they are confused, like how much pesticides or fertilizers should be used. So IoT is going to help in that. And it also helps in predicting the weather, that is smart sensing and monitoring. For example, if the farmer has gathered his grains and kept at a place, but if he gets a notification that it is going to rain in the evening, so immediately the farmer will take some kind of precaution that he will move the grains to a safer area where it can be stored properly. Or a farmer wants to sow seeds. So if he gets a notification that it is going to rain at particular time, so he can plan accordingly. If a farmer comes to know that in this year it won't rain so much, so he will plan his crops accordingly. And moreover, not just this, a farmer has cattle, feet, so it can also have some GPS module where it can easily control where the animals are doing and how they are remaining. So it is actually very vast. So and moreover, drone can be used for spraying fertilizer, pesticides, for water. How much amount of water? Like most of the times, it has been seen that farmers switch on their tube wells and they leave it. They don't know that when and where to switch off the pump. So IoT can be used to monitor the moisture level of the soil. Once the moisture level goes below the threshold level, the pump will immediately become on. It will be on. Once moisture level is fulfilled, it will be off automatically. So this will help in saving water and also help in having a good health for the plants because having water less or more than the required levels is not good for it. And yes, the most interesting part that I like is how IoT will be helping in achieving the sustainable development goals. Yes, IoT enables many SDGs. So, like I was talking about how it was going to help in production. So in that, if we have good amount of food grains that are being produced, the farmer is able to monitor the production, then all will be having a good amount of food available for us. So it will help in fighting with SDG number two, that is zero hunger. And if we have good amount of nutrition, then yes, good health and well-being will be there. And moreover, the smart variables where remote monitoring of the patients is available, immediate notifications are there. So it will help in promoting SDG number three, that is good health and well-being. Then just clean water and sanitation because IoT devices are used to monitor the impurity levels. And moreover, the IoT devices are used to create smart meters where how much amount of water it will be just analyzing or monitoring the water usage like the water risk usage risk, the smart meters will give an alert or notification like today your water pressure level that you have put. For example, I put a level that I must be using 10 liters of water in each day. So once it reaches beyond that, so I will be getting so that I can control the water usage. Then SDG number 9. Yes, it will be enabling industry innovation and infrastructure. Obviously, innovation is there because according to the requirements of the industries, new devices are being made every day. And like I talked about supply chain, where it will help the industries in knowing how much production should be done to avoid overstocking or understocking. And then yes, sustainable cities. So IoT devices will help in creating smart cities where the devices will be connected, but also with that control ventilation, smart lighting system, all these features will help in converting the smart cities into sustainable cities. And then SDG 13, that is climate action. Yes, climate action is another important feature where IoT is going to play a very important role because it helps in monitoring that this air quality monitoring can be done through the IoT devices where you can know the air quality index and the industries can control their operations. And let's very fast look at the benefits of IoT. Yes, it is very efficient. We can be using it at home, in industry, and using those devices is going to help our time, money, and energy. Yes, it has some disadvantages too because all the devices are being connected on the internet. So data security, privacy, safety issues will be there. Then autonomy and control concerns will be there. Or a lot of data is being generated. And now I am open to discussion and questions on board. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our speaker. Very accurate and specific with the information that she has shared with us. And now we have our reviewer, Coach Sandra Valks from Canada. An amazing woman, so smart, funny, and wonderful person.
There was so much there, so much, Dr. Anjum. I think you probably had like 10 presentations in there. You could have taken full time with a third of those slides. But the thing that came to me is what I'm going to report on. 75% connected to the Internet of Things. That's only 25% that's not connected. Do we understand just how scary that is? How exciting it is, how brilliant that it can all be brought together. I mean, here we are, I'm in Canada, near Toronto, and you're in India. It's huge. We never would have met each other without all of this. On the other hand, let's be always aware of the price. They say, oh, it's free. You can go on Google, it's free. Nothing is free in this world. Nothing, zero. What have they got for us? They've got our email, which is on the internet. They've got our private information. Governments have our numbers. Businesses know. Here they know when I went shopping yesterday, and that's going to be an offer tomorrow for my groceries. I bought bananas last week. Well, I'm an old lady all by myself, so I don't need bananas again next week. But they don't care about that. They just know what I bought. So Internet of Things cannot be avoided. It's totally invasive into our lives. And so we cannot ignore it, which I think so many people think, oh, this is simple. Look at this. I just push this button. They are totally unaware that when they give out their private information, it is out there in the world, never to be seen again by us. We won't even know where it is. So the security is absolutely essential, and it's really important if we're going to live in this world and thrive in this world. We have to understand it. That doesn't mean we have to, I mean, I get into rabbit holes because it takes me so many places, and so it interrupts my creativity. On the other hand, I would never want to have to go back without it. So really, security is essential for us as the end users. Be smart, but in order to be smart about the Internet of Things, we have to learn about it. The wonderful aspect, can you imagine machine learning? We can have people, look at SGF, educating children that couldn't otherwise get that education, raising everyone up to another level. But be aware that we do not let it swallow us as individuals. Staying unique, in my opinion, is the most important thing that can happen for me. Staying unique as an individual, as a human, so we are human to human. And if we're not careful, the Internet of Things takes that away. How many children are caught only in the phones? They can text, but they don't know how to talk. How many adults are in isolation now because they're hiding in here? It's a scary place to go. We must protect our uniqueness, and we must have more SGF. We must have people coming together talking. Your slides were so full. I was making, little collections of them here and there to collect my thoughts. Each slide is so that if you're taking it to the children there, take just one slide and let them understand how big the world is and how small the world is, and that there is nothing free. Everything is out there in the world. Big Pharma has all our medications. If we want to, they battle with the people that want to give us natural, trying to put the natural away. That's not okay. Big Brother, they know everything about us. The cost is our privacy. Smart cities, they know how much water. They phoned me and said, you're using way too much water. You must have a leak. I'm thinking, thank goodness they were able to call me, because it was costing me hundreds of dollars extra. The bill went up and I wasn't sure, but they caught that and called me. That's good, but they know how much water I'm using. There's no privacy here. The GPS, Google knows exactly where. Google Maps, you go on there, Waze, they know everywhere I go. And when I punch in, they know where all my friends and destinations are. Every one of them. Business with the smart cars. I mean, the cars that are being stolen now are the smart cars, because they can get into the computer and steal them. There's a lot of theft going on. Farming. I think the whole thing, it's so brilliant and so risky. It's a whole new world out there for us as individuals, as us as community. We are so dependent on it that when the electricity goes down, we're in trouble. When the internet goes down, we're in trouble. How are we going to maintain our creativity, stay in community, so that if the first half still have some creative basic knowledge? Because when the internet's down, you're not going to look up how to cook that piece of meat. You're not. We need our personal sustainability. Yes, the internet's so essential in our lives in all kinds of ways today, but never, ever forget the risk to ourselves personally. We have to be learning about the scammers all the time. There's hackers that are taking it down, hackers that are stealing our information, hackers that are getting to the hospitals, taking all of our information. I sell life insurance. All of the internet is giving the life insurance information about our health, so they can, it's necessary, but it's a scary place to go. I think of the privacy hackers, the breaches, the thieves out there. There's always going to be thieves. There's the dark web we don't even want to hear about. I just want to cover my ears when I think of the dark web. It's the internet, but it's being used for the wrong uses. So my big message from today was, it's brilliant, it's huge, we can't avoid it, but we better wake up and not be putting information in for scammers to get. We better understand what scammers are doing and not give information. We have to be educated in this, so critical. But thank you, Dr. Anjum, for this incredible presentation, and blessings, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach Sandra Balk. Thank you for your words and your wisdom to share with us your feedback. Thank you so much. We appreciate everything from you. Thank you, as always.